I really do not like that some things are slow. And actually, when I tried to record it before, I made a burp. In the end, I probably wanted to have that into this video just to show how angry I really am at these situations. But then I decided, no, not even I will stoop so low to mock a manga for that. It's just that the pacing is horrendous. We get it, we get it, we get it. Asashi has a superpower that no one has, and no one can beat him because of that. You are building him up as an unbeatable man who has become a cook unlike any other. A cook that is basically learning from kitchen knives that he stole and then decides to travel into the storm and take even bigger strides than him. And that, so yeah, we get it, we get it, we get it! Asashi is unbeatable, okay? So just give us the cooking duel already. If you are building it up so that Asashi can suffer a humiliating defeat, I would prefer if it was faster. This is the Angry Anime Fan Despair Reviewer, and yes, this is Shokugeki no Soma chapter 306. Actually, before we talk about that, before we even go into the detail of it all, there was a rumor going around in the spoiler theme, given to the fact that it's not on this page. In the end, I guess it was just a rumor. The rumors were circling and suggested that Shokugeki no Soma was gonna end in 15 chapters. I find it pretty hard that a manga like this would end in 15 chapters. Yes, a lot of people, me included, except some other few, have grown incredibly frustrated with the Shokugeki no Soma, so if the sales are doing badly, then it would not surprise me if it's really going to end in 15 chapters. But again, Shokugeki no Soma is all about extremely slow pacing, wrapping up everything in just 15 chapters, seems so unlike it. So either way, now we get to the point is, of course the judges hear that they call that the other kids called them, know that Soma called Yoichiro his father, and of course they have a freak out, because after all, Saiba Yoichiro is a legendary one. Soma of course begins to wonder how they're gonna fuse the dishes, but then Asashi decides to be very arrogant and shows us many different cooking knives and many things more, including we see pictures of the different chefs that he took, almost in a sympathetic point. But I think the one thing that is actually pretty funny here is that it's actually the manga itself is lampshading this. As I said before, Asashi is an incredible hateful character. There's almost no trace of sympathetic things into his character. Even that flashback we saw of Asashi has made a lot of people just dislike him more, because they feel like it's such a cliche flashback, or another fact that it just shows that Asashi is a child in a grown man's body. He is completely immature. And what's funny here is that even the manga itself is lampshading, that Asashi gets pictures of all the opponents he defeated and how much they congratulated him, only for the Totsuki friends to say, how are you throwing in a random amount of characters we haven't seen before? Are you trying to make us look... Are you trying to make you look sympathetic? I mean, that is basically how Asashi's character has been, you know. So I had to give the manga props for that. It's basically lampshading that no, Asashi is not a character you're meant to sympathetic with. In fact, in the end, it's even Sarge who lampshades that the reality is that he forced them into battle, defeated them, and then stole their tools afterwards. So, well, either way, but then the other judge begins to really... feels like this, how much Asashi is amazing, of the fact that he can have Totsuki's learning environment by simply taking a level of knives, which he also lampshades, saying that he learns in quickly than anyone else, and that he will go beyond the storms and anything else. Even Irina is giving up, feeling like maybe Asashi's gonna win this. I'm sorry, but I mean, I should probably have a real Shokugeki no Soma reviewer in an argument about this, because I'm almost tempted in doing a live stream about explaining why did I suddenly lose my spark of liking Shokugeki no Soma. But I also feel like I have to have a live stream debate about someone who still is a die-hearted fan like Shokugeki no Soma, like Charles, because I need to know, what is it that can make this so great? I mean, people are lampshading that Irina has not lost her character development. But I still feel like she has gone back to that shrinking violet side we saw when her father appeared. She's even saying that Asashi should win. How the hell is that not dropping character development? In the end, the only one who is still being himself is Soma. Which is one thing I can also praise about this chapter. After all, Soma is always the character that no matter the obstacle, even when he had lost, he always rushes ahead. Even Jochiro said it. No matter times how he has lost, he has never been swallowed up by the storm. He just keeps walking ahead. And the fact that Asashi has obtained a higher education than Totsuki just makes him more battle hungry. And Asashi even sees the picture as Soma is trying to catch up to him. Is the fact that, but of course Asashi is in the end not taking that seriously. But Soma is not wavering. In fact, if he had wavered, then we truly would have felt ultimate despair. But that's not Soma's character. He never wavers. So yeah, this basically was just a chapter of making us get more and more pissed off against Asashi. I still have no freaking idea how anybody could gain chef knowledge by taking the knives. The fact that he almost delusionally think that the chef knives gave him those knives and praised his skills once again just shows how low of a maturity Saiba has. He truly believes he is the greatest. With those skills, it's not hard to see why, but I'm still just saying it. He is nothing more than a child! This amount of selfishness, this thing that he cannot see, what is so negative, all of that is just pure childish fantasy. He is such an obnoxious character, I cannot even scream hard enough. And I'm sorry if I didn't warn you, but to be honest, you didn't even need to be warned just how much this was. I could have ranted way more than I already have, but I decided, nah, it's not even worth it. So yeah, the only good side about this chapter was the manga lampshading just how much hateful of a character Saiba is, or Asashi is, and that Soma is not giving up. Then again, how will he reach this stage? Just get there, okay? Give me your thoughts if you have any.